Let's go drifting!
What's up guys, I'm here to show you around my RSR Scion TC and give you an idea about what goes on inside the car while I'm driving. So let's start off with this stick right here. This is actually a hydraulic emergency brake. By pulling this, it applies brake pressure to the rear tires only, so I can, you know, drive, shift, and then when I want to induce a drift, I can just clutch in, pull on this, and then it'll lock up the rear tires, and then that's one way of inducing a drift. Another tool that I have in this car that normal cars wouldn't have is this dog box transmission right here. One thing about this transmission is the fact that it's a little bit loud compared to normal cars, so I wouldn't recommend it for any cars. But we need this kind of transmission because we have a lot of horsepower. We're pretty much abusing the car while we're drifting, so we need a product that can handle all the abuse. While I'm driving, you know, I can stare out the front windshield, or I can also look at this tag right here. This is the Multec display system that gives me all the information that's going on around the car, such as engine RPM, oil temperature, oil pressure, fuel pressure, engine temperature, and whatnot. So everything that I don't feel through the car, I can visually see through this gauge system right here. One thing that's unique about this Scion RSR drift car compared to other drift cars is the fact that we utilized a lot of the factory, you know, dash applications, the factory cup holders, this armrest right here, just so I can feel like I'm driving a Scion while I'm drifting. It's a lot of fun, you know, driving, and then you get to feel this like Scion atmosphere around you. So that's very unique about this drift car.
Hey guys, welcome into the Rockstar Scion. This is my ride for Formula D. When we built it, we knew that we had kind of a good formula with the setup we've had in previous cars. So we took the Scion TC platform, which is very versatile, and we were able to make it feel very similar to the other cars. Some of the basics though, of course, we have our fatty handbrake, and this thing has its own 6-pot caliper on the rear disc, and that's nice to have that separate from the foot brake, because with my personal technique, I sometimes will come in with a handbrake initiation on a long braking section like in Sonoma, and then get real close to the car in front of me and then monitor my distance with the foot brake while I'm also using the handbrake. So being able to have those systems completely separate is awesome. We also have a dog box G-force transmission, so I don't even need to use the clutch when I shift this thing, which is pretty cool. And it's very, very crisp. And then of course, just for fun, we have a TRD NASCAR engine in this. A Toyota built and developed from scratch in Costa Mesa, right up the street from my house. So that's a very cool setup, and that's like over 600 horsepower. But it's very high RPM, so you have to keep the thing above 6,000 RPM all the time. Super fun to drive, super loud. First car I've raced that in drifting that I have to have earplugs. But it's time to get out of my car because I got to go to work, got to get changed up, so we'll see you soon. Well, I'm proud of how we've developed our Scion and how it fits me. There are a lot of Scion owners that actually come to the drift events that have their own cars that fit them perfectly.
Hi, I'm Vivian from Oakland, California, and this is my 04 Heli Kitty Scion XB. Follow me. Here's the inside of my car. You can see my candy-coated trimmings and my custom silk pillars done by myself, and you can see my headliner. Get a shot of that. And this is my ride.
Hi, Matt. This is my Scion TC. Basically, I got a Raven body kit, custom orange paint job, basically 2 All-Set 15s, it's running 2500 watt amp, stickers, have a custom projector halos, and the thing I like about Scion is you can take apart like a lot of the car easily by yourself, and you can put it back together. You can change a lot of the stuff, and you get a lot of ideas from other people.
Sonoma's a bizarre track. It's basically 90 miles an hour pulling the handbrake sideways into a tight corner. So all you can do is basically just man up and attack. When you're in tandem, you just have to stick right to the car behind you and go through sideways braking. It's like coming up to an accident on the highway, and instead of braking really close on the bumper of the car in front of you and almost crashing into him, you're both sideways coming towards that accident. So it's a pretty wild track, but a good time.
So here at Sonoma, I came in thinking that I have an advantage over a lot of other competitors. One thing that I knew for sure that had an advantage is the fact that I'm really consistent on e-brake entry tandem drift. So here at Sonoma, you know, where we're entering first turn using our e-brake, I knew I can win the proximity battle against my opponent by sucking up to his door as fast as I could. And you know, it turned out that it worked for a lot of my matches. The car was really inconsistent. You know, the RSR team did a great job setting up the car for me, and I mean, I guess you can say that everything kind of just came together for this event, and everything went strong and worked out, I guess.
We've had a long season. You know, we've taken the Rockstar Scion and we have tested and changed almost every component of this car as we've been developing it in this first year out. We've had some successes with a win in Vegas, had some failures with a failure to qualify in New Jersey, and if anything, we have learned a lot about what makes the Scion TC work as a drift car.
Since I hopped into the RSR Scion team, we've been going through a lot of trouble, a lot of gremlins with the car, and a lot of challenges. For one thing, the car was really inconsistent last year, especially, you know, during our first year, we didn't have any data to work on, so we would make parts, it would break, we would work on other things, it would break, and it was just a tough year for our RSR Scion team last year. Coming into this year, we knew what we had to work on to get the car consistent and competitive for this Formula Drift Series. So, I mean, a lot of blood, sweat, tears went into the car, a lot of time went into the car, and you know, the RSR team worked really hard for me to get here, and it feels good. It feels really good.
In second place.
We ended up winning second place today, which feels really good. It just feels that everything just kind of came together, all the hard work paid off, and it feels good. It feels really good.
Now we come into the last event, Irwindale. This is home country.
We all started drifting on Irwindale Speedway.
This is our chance to show what we've learned throughout the year.
But tonight, we're gonna forget about Irwindale for now and party it up.